Highlighting barista or coffee shop experience on your resume or CV, line by line. So it looks like this. Yeah. Well, where do you get your coffee from? Maybe one of these places or Tim Hortons if you are Canadian. And when you go to these places, you have these lovely people called the barista. And these are the folks that prepare your coffee. And this is who we want to focus on today. How would a barista or somebody who worked at a coffee shop write their experience on their resume? So if you happen to have worked at a coffee shop, I'm going to show you how to highlight your experience to demonstrate your skills knowledge on your resume. And you can actually demonstrate your coffee shop experience to include all these skills from communication, customer service, speed and delivery, following procedures, and attention to detail right on your resume. I'm going to show you how to do that like this, using some keywords or using the related verbs and numbers to create impact. And of course, if you think it's too much to have like 8 bullet points, you can always pick and choose just the relevant ones to the job you're applying for and make it nice and neat like this. So I'll be doing this in the next 10 minutes. And even if you're not applying to become a barista or if you're not applying to a coffee shop, it doesn't matter. You can still apply these resume tips and tricks in your other experiences as well when you're writing your resume. So for example, but if you happen to have worked at McDonald's, I have a video on that. So I'm Professor Job Offer, and I've spent the last 10 years with the number 4's Global 2000 companies, and I want to share my tips and tricks on how to land your next job offer. So in this video, I want to tell you about how to highlight your coffee shop or barista experience on your resume using various skills, competencies, and experiences that you have from working at the coffee shop. And most importantly, I'm going to show you this using an example and line by line, literally going every line by line. So let's dive right in. So highlighting your coffee shop barista experience. Line number one is always going to be basic information, and basic information contains your position, title, the name of the business, and the location and the dates. There's a little asterisk there. I'll explain that later. So what did you do at the coffee shop? Were you a barista? Were you in customer service? Were you a staff member, right? So you have your position or title followed by the name of the business and location. I just called it Professor Coffee, located in Toronto, Ontario in Canada. And the dates, right? So if you don't work there anymore, you want to put your start date and end date in the month, year format, okay? So if you don't work there anymore, remember you're putting the end date, but if you are still working there, then you want to put your start date, so start month and year, followed by present to indicate that you still work here. Okay, so that brings us to line number 2, which includes your duties and responsibilities on what you did on the job. So what do I mean by duties and responsibilities? What did you do every day on the job? Okay, this is a summary of what you did every day on the job. So you made coffee, you prepared drinks, okay, that seems pretty standard. You took orders, you might have even customized customer orders, okay. Clean tables, equipment, utensils. Well, that seems pretty standard for somebody who works at a coffee shop. And some of the other duties and responsibilities can include things like training new employees, learning latte art. If you're wondering what that is, it's like creating shapes on the drinks. And manage inventory, perhaps, or maybe you might even build report and relationships with customers. So many other duties and responsibilities that are related. And this brings us to secret number 1. I don't know if you saw it, but let me quickly show you. Made, prepare, take, clean. Yeah, train, learn, manage, build. Well, these are all verbs. So we are always going to lead with a verb in our resume. So that is secret number 1. And this will come in handy a little later. So just keep that in the back of your mind. So line number 2 is the summary of your daily duties and responsibilities. So this is what you did on a daily basis. Let's take a look. So you're responsible for taking customer orders and preparing drinks accordingly, more than 40 different menu items, okay? And you're cleaning tables and equipment while maintaining fast and accurate speed of service. So this is what you did on a daily basis. And we're highlighting, we're including all the things we did on the daily basis. What did you do every day? Made coffee, take orders, clean tables, maintain fast and accurate speed of service. Wonderful. So this provides a nice quick 2-line summary of what you were paid to do. So that brings us to line number 3 and on. So this is where we actually dive deeper into each of the daily duties and responsibilities with more details and numbers. Okay. So, and remember, these are the ones, these are the duties that you're responsible for on a day-to-day basis. And we're going to focus on each of these items and include numbers and details along with them. Okay. Remember, secret number 1 is leading with verb. I told you this will come in handy. And secret number 2 is to include numbers. You might already know, like, oh yeah, I know I have to include numbers, but I don't know how to include numbers. Well, I'll show you how to do it. So numbers are really important because they're objective. You know, there's always going to be a bigger number, a smaller number, or equal number. And it also helps to create impact, and it's easier for the reader to remember. So Let's take a look. One of the details of duties and responsibilities using verbs was you handled customer orders, right? We mentioned that above. And we're going to expand more on that and say you handled 40 to 80 orders. That equates to $152 to $500 of revenue per hour using the POS, the point of sale. We always want to expand on all our acronyms on the resume. You minimize errors by clearly communicating and confirming the orders with customers and 2 to 4 other baristas, right? We're expanding on the idea of taking orders and adding more details to it. Not just more details, but we're also using numbers to exaggerate our details. You handle 40 to 80 orders. Okay, so this individual actually worked in a time pressuring environment. They also know how to use the POS. Okay, that's a great skill to highlight. And by clearly communicating, confirming orders, and you worked with 2 to 4 other baristas. Okay, this sounds like this individual actually has some experience in collaboration and teamwork. So that's how we demonstrate that. Let's take a look at another point. Okay, so remember one of our points was manage inventory. We're not just going to say manage inventory. We're going to say proactively manage 30 perishable inventory items, including coffee beans, cream, milk, and desserts to reduce waste. What was the purpose of it? It was to reduce waste and track close to expiry dates to ensure food safety. Now that's a critical point. Food safety, right? In any kind of food business, we always want to ensure food and restaurant business, food safety priority. And followed by reduce the waste by 10% by improving the visibility of expiry dates and periodically prioritizing the consumption. Okay, so we're using verbs manage, reduce waste, improve, and prioritize. Also adding numbers. We're not just managing inventory, we're managing 30 perishable inventory items. That gives a very good comparison as compared to saying, oh, I manage inventory, I manage 30 perishable inventory items. Okay, and reduced waste. That's great, but reduced waste by 10%. Okay, now we can imagine that. We can objectify that, right? And say, okay, reduce waste. How did you do it? By improving the visibility of expiry dates and periodically prioritizing consumption. Wonderful. Okay, oh, what is this? Just kidding. This is me advertising my other videos. So if you're interested, go check it out. And another duty and responsibility that we can expand on, you're memorizing different menu items, right? So we quickly memorized step-by-step procedures of preparing more than 40 menu items, including tea-based, espresso-based, blended, decaffeinated, and hand-dripped drinks in the first 3 weeks. We're using verbs, memorize, prepare. And what are the key numbers here? Of more than 40 menu items. So, wow, okay, this person's a really quick learner. In the first 3 weeks, they learned to memorize the procedure of preparing more than 40 drink items in different areas like tea-based, espresso-based, blended, and so on. Okay, so this demonstrates your competency in a quick learning. And another one, remember we're cleaning stuff. While you're using verbs, you maintain the cleanliness of 2 espresso machines, 3 coffee machines, 4 blenders, coffee pots, use other utensils using following safety guidelines. Following safety guidelines. Great, this shows that you can follow procedures during daily cleaning to ensure sanitation. Remember, you're using numbers. I hope you get the pattern here now. Okay, so line number 4 and on. So after you have added details of each of the daily duties and responsibilities, we want to highlight some of the achievements. Okay, some achievements. What did you do there that kind of really changed the process or made something better? Remember, secret number 2, we're doing this using numbers. Leading with verb and using numbers. And by the way, if you're curious on what kind of resume action verbs are out there, well, I have a PDF of 350 different resume action verbs with a download link in the description. It's completely free for you to download. However, it's only free for the first 1 billion people, so you might want to hurry before it's too late. I'm closing it off after 1 billion. So line number 4, achievements and highlights. What did you do that was unique? What did you do that was different from everyone else? So using verbs, organize the workspace to optimize, so make it best. Operations, to ensure baristas to easily locate resources and products with more than 25 labels, resulting in quicker service to customers by 30 seconds. Okay, we're using verbs here, organize, optimize, locate, resulting. Let's use some numbers. Let's highlight some numbers here. Okay, it means you use more than 25 different labels to make it easy for people to find different products and resources. And what did this do? It resulted in quicker service by 30 seconds. You might think, oh, 30 seconds, that's nothing. In a coffee shop, 30 seconds is everything. Yeah. So that is one of the work highlights. This is something you did. Let's take a look at another one. What is your other achievement? So you learned and gained proficiency with latte art. Remember, that's the little shapes with milk on the drinks. Latte art to appeal the uniqueness and brand image to customers. Now you're able to create 4 shapes using steamed milk, using hearts, including hearts and leaves. So you're using verbs. You learned and gained proficiency to create something. This shows some creativity. It also shows your proficiency in being able to learn. And using numbers, right? create four shapes. And why is this important? Because it really it helps to boost the uniqueness and brand image of the coffee shop to the customers. That's why this is important, learning latte art, even if you might have had fun doing it. So line number 5, this is for like a bonus point. I like to include it personally and I recommend it. It's about company's values and missions, how you supported and contributed to the values and missions of the company. So a coffee shop is, I mean, most businesses, it's about making money, but a coffee shop might want to provide friendly and high quality customer service to build rapport, build relationship, and thus that leads to customer retention. Every business, every small business wants to maintain a high degree of customer retention. And how did you contribute to doing this? You did this by providing friendly and high quality customer service to build rapport, relationship. Okay. So last step is to combine everything from the basic information to a summary of your duties and responsibilities to the details about each duty and responsibility using numbers and various action verbs, and to your highlights on the job, something you did better, something that was unique, and ending with the values and contributions you made to the company's missions. So, and if you're wondering, is that too much? Yeah, to have 8 bullet points under your resume under one thing, unless it was like some fantastic job, then 8 might be a little too much. And to make it easier, you want to just pick and choose the bullet points that are most relevant to the job you're applying for. Okay, the most relevant skills, most relevant experiences that are to the job you're applying for, and just kind of condense it like this. So quickly review. Line number 1 is about the basic information. Remember, we have our position, the name of the business, location, and the dates. Remember, a little asterisk with dates, so careful with that. And line number 2 is going to be a summary of what you did on day-to-day basis. What did they pay you to do? Right? Make coffee, take orders, clean tables. And from line number 3 and on, we're adding details about each of the daily duties and responsibilities using numbers. Remember, secret number 1 is using verbs. Secret number 2 is using numbers to demonstrate that. And after that, you want to highlight your work achievements. Okay, you want to focus on the achievements and highlights using numbers as well. Remember, we're using verbs and numbers to show how you did something different, how you made a difference at the workplace. And number 5 is how you supported the values and missions of the company. Okay. And remember, I keep saying this, but secret number 1 is lead with verb. Number 2 is using numbers. If you're confused about verb, go check out that PDF in the description. Remember, we combine everything, we get a beautiful section of your resume that really helps to highlight your skills experience at a coffee shop. Okay, and remember, if it's too much, you can always just pick and choose the ones that are most relevant to the position you're applying for. And one more thing, there's a lot of additional resources available. It's on YouTube. It's completely free, actually. I'm talking about my channel, not other people's stuff. Like if you are wondering how to understand the job posting and its section, so you know what you're up against, right? And there's a video on that. And there's also video on how to use different resume or CV action verbs and with examples, just like how I did, like line by line. So if you know that, I want to use the action verb collaborate or teamwork, okay, what instance do I want to use this on? Maybe for raising money for children. Okay, what are the outcomes and numbers? What results do I want to highlight with this? And I show you how to create a bullet point like this using different action verbs, the instance, and numbers, right, to demonstrate and to show off that you are an exceptional candidate for the position, right? And if you're also wondering how to highlight your education on resume line by line, like line by line is what I did with the coffee shop experience here, starting from the basic information to the GPA, to the GPA. Okay, now that looks better. Awards and courses and activities. Then there's also a video on that. So, well, I'm Professor Job Offer, and I'm here to help you land your next job offer. Thanks for watching.